right. Good evening, me Famodem. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate and sorry, apologies for coming on late tonight. This is due to the former program. The program that we just had that had to do with the plight of our sisters in Kuwait. So the people that I'm going to actually say this in Creole so that our people can relate to my lovely people out there. So the people then this program just to come on late because of the program we'll get earlier, which we sisters and with the Kuwait. We had to go out to them and we see the plight, very, very difficult situation and challenging situation out there in Kuwait. And we want to actually say on behalf of Mr. Lassana Sako and the viewers family, we want to say thank you very much for hearing, their views, and we will serve myself actually, will help make sure say we raise this campaign higher. And my guest tonight also we might touch on something like this tonight, so that we just make sure that these people, our family, our sisters, our mothers are actually helped. And to our sisters out there, una take heart, definitely help the committee now because we will come as a people and as a government. I'm sure government back will intervene so that when a situation will be helped. Yeah. So I know this is like in pursuit of happiness. You're there because you just want to be happy. You're there because you want to succeed, and so people might misinterpret your intentions, but we know we are all trying to look for a good life. So heart goes on out to Una, and God will continue for blessing her and strengthening Una. And Una take heart, and definitely we'll do everything possible. So this is the Victor's Business and Motivation Hour, normally called the Business Show. And it is actually hosted by myself, Dr. Alfred Pete. And definitely this show is about motivation and business. So we'll be having a lot of tips about how to start a business, for instance. So tonight, I have a beautiful guest with me that I will introduce in a minute from now. And we'll touch on so many other things, including especially what it takes to be an entrepreneur, a female entrepreneur. So she will be telling us more about her journey towards entrepreneurship. And so I will talk about that later tonight. But what I want to start with is actually a little recap of what we did last week. Last week was really about discovering and maximizing your talent. So many people then, I just want to say, go through what we go through last week, and which is about discovering and maximizing your talents. And like I always say last week is that we all get talents then we will build. And but how do you discover that talent, to make sure that you get the life that you want to live? Just like our sisters out there. Of course, most of us that came overseas, we are here because we want to make our lives better, because the essence of life is to progress. That's exactly what life is about. So, but the thing is, for you to progress, you need to identify your strengths, your talents, and also nurture them so that you can become the best person that you are. And so I used a model last week. It's called the LSCM model. Just to break it down, actually, not trying to be academic here, but the first thing you go for first, you go for identify what you love, because we all love to do something. So, for instance, do you love singing? Do you love cooking? Do you love taking care of people? Or maybe do you love making people laugh? Or do you love gardening? Or whatever you love, try to find what you genuinely love and try to see how you can set something around that thing. People will pay you for it as long as you do it as much as possible. So the first thing we said was how to discover your talent is to discover what you love doing. Another thing was to identify your strengths and weaknesses. We all have strengths. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. So we all have strengths. We have our weaknesses. But I always say focus on your strengths and make sure you actually strengthen your strengths. Always that's something that we have to do. And also step outside your comfort zone. Always make sure you're doing new things, go to new territory. Just like our sisters in Kuwait, for instance, I'm sure they went to a new territory because they wanted a good life. Exactly. That's why they went there. So they went out of their comfort zone. I'm sure. They were expecting that it's going to be smooth, but this is life. It's full of ups and downs. But what they are doing now is try to go through their challenges, and I'm sure they're going to get out of it stronger and better. And we will have to help each other to do that. So the last one was to find a mentor. I love the last one because you don't have to repeat the same mistakes. no need for do the same mistakes all over again. Find somebody where they do what you want to do and follow around, following steps. You might not do exactly what the person is doing, but you can just tweak one or two there. So is really something that we have to do. But tonight is not really about me. Tonight, the topic tonight is zero to hero. And this is part 5 of zero to hero. Now, what is zero to hero? It's really about people who have started from nothing to, and now they are somewhere, nothing to something. Success itself differs. The definition of success by me might be different from what is success to you. For instance, my definition of success is when you fulfill your purpose on earth. So in other words, you have a purpose on earth, and once you fulfill that purpose, you've become successful. So it means that success is actually a continuous process. But what is successful to me might not be successful to you. Last week we had an event and we were talking about happiness and success. And some people were saying that you can be successful and not be happy. And it's very, very correct. You can actually be successful and not happy. So I think for me, the two go hand in hand. You should be successful and happy. I don't care what you do. You might be just doing a little thing in your little corner, but as long as you're happy and you feel fulfilled within yourself, that's success. But however, we need to be hungry for more because there is always growth. You cannot be comfortable with what you have because neglect things will actually drag you back to the former place. So tonight it's going to be less about me. If I'm with them, we get a beautiful lady. My guest, Nabri Bangura, she's an entrepreneur, means a businesswoman. Now, woman is going to do business and is very good at it. And you're going to hear her stories tonight. She's a marketer, means that now somebody who promotes products, now somebody who is able to sell, they will price, they will promote, they will brand. And a TV anchor and presenter, they work for AYV. Now they present the international news on AYV, and she does a lot of interviews, and she's very good. And she also hosts programs. This woman is young, this woman is intelligent, this woman is beautiful, as you can see on the screen. And she's going to tell us tonight about how she how she accomplished all these things. It has always not been actually easy. So I want to formally welcome my guest, our sister, our friend, our darling, our everything, Nabri Bangura. Nabri, good evening. Hello, Nabri.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you. Yes, good evening.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Good evening. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we are doing fine. I just wanted to say hello to everyone. And also, I want to start by asking a simple question. Who is Nabri Bangura?
Wow, every time I get asked that question, it's always hard for me to answer. But Nabri is somebody that's fun, I'm lively, I'm a free spirit, I like to think. I'm someone that's very ambitious, I'm driven, God-fearing, and I like to see things to the end, really. So, yeah, someone that's got a lot of drive, and I go for what I want in life. Yeah.
Wow, good. So you have a lot of drive, and yeah, you can see. I can sense it even from the way you talk. You have huge drive. You will always want to succeed. I know you passionately for being somebody who wants to succeed. But tonight really is about we trying to inspire people who are really down there, or people who are trying to discover themselves or do things that are meaningful to their lives. Because the truth of the matter is now, most people actually going through a lot of difficult circumstances. Most people have not even discovered why they were born in the first place. Most people actually go from day to day, month to month, without knowing exactly where the next meal will come from. Our sisters, for instance, in Kuwait, I'm sure you would have heard about the story. They left the country of Sierra Leone, beautiful country, and they went to Kuwait in the interest of happiness and in the interest of actually finding peace and success for themselves. I'm sure that's why they went there for. So you have the opportunity to come to the UK at the age of 5 because the last time I spoke to you. Take us through this journey because what people see is this beautiful Nabri Bagura or this successful in your own right, Nabi Bangura. What they do not see is the beginning, the journey. So I really want to take your time to take us through the journey. You came to the UK at the age of 5. And so I don't want to go back before 5 because perhaps, So tell us more about what happened when you came to the UK or even before you came to the UK.
Yeah. So I was born in the beautiful Sierra Leone, the Lion Mountains, the land of diamonds, gold, bauxite, rutile, everything, you name it, we have it in Sierra Leone. Yeah. And it was funny, when I was a kid, I always used to say that I'm half English. This is the funniest thing. I don't know nothing about England. I don't know anything about English in that way. Okay. But I used to always say, Mina, English speaking, this and that. My mum used to laugh. So I was a bit of a character as a kid, actually. I was quite shy, but I was someone that was very I was quite like a bit of a jokester. I used to make comic little videos and imitate my aunties and stuff like that. So I used to say I'm half English, and then at 5 I ended up coming to England. So you have to be careful what you say. We'll talk about that later, because I really believe in distance. And I came to the UK when I was 5 years old. And when I first came here, people used to actually think I was born in the UK. So I never encountered the whole African football and stuff like that. But I was always proud when they say, "Oh, you're from England?" "No, I'm from SALONE, Mina SALONE," and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I came to the UK. I went to primary school here in the UK. So pretty much I've lived all my life in the UK. Right. Then after primary school, I went to secondary school. I went to an all-girls secondary school. And from there, I went on to do my sixth form. So I studied philosophy, religious studies, business studies, right, and sociology. Those were what I studied. Right. So from finishing that, I went on to university, where I did my first degree in management and marketing. And then after doing that, I worked for a bit. Unfortunately, I became redundant. Right. My first ever proper job at university, and I thought, oh, great, I've just got a job, and I'm becoming redundant. So my mum was like, do your masters, which I never wanted to do in the beginning, to be honest, but because the circumstance and the competition in the market was stronger, I decided to go for that, and then I embarked on my MBA in HR, which is human resources management. But while I was doing that, when I was a bit younger, I did Miss Sierra Leone UK 2004 when I was kid. And I think that's when people really got to know who Nabre Bangura was, because before, the only Sierra Leonean interaction I had was mainly my family, my cousins, and I probably had 1 or 2 Sierra Leonean friends, but I didn't really mingle too much in the community, so to speak. So I started to get asked to do film roles, modeling, both in the Sierra Leone community and out. And my mum was always very much, she guarded me and said, no, the industry, there's a lot of things, I don't want you to be exposed to that. Yeah, so I turned down a few things because of that, because African people careful listen to your mama, this, that, in crying or dome, you and all this kind of stuff. So I listened to her, and I did Miss Sierra Leone, and from there I started to get more exposure for other things. While I was studying my MBA, I got approached on Facebook because some guys saw my pictures, and then they saw the quotes that I put was quite motivational, entrepreneurial, and they said, "Oh, we'd like you to come down for an informal interview as a TV presenter." And I was like, "Oh, I've never thought of becoming a presenter before." So I went down there. They were called the SWAT Team Select Show. So we have guys like Easy. He was one of my co-hosts for that show. I met the team, the camera guys, and the other presenters, and they were like, "We really like you. It's an in-house show we're doing, which was coming on Claire TV, which is on Sky. It's into liquidation. And we want you to be the female presenter." So it was 2 male presenters and myself. So that focused more on the Ghanaian and Afro-Caribbean aspect. So I started doing things like Ghana Music Awards, and I started meeting artists like Fuse ODG. I interviewed him. I interviewed footballers like John Pansel, all these kind of people. There's another Ghanaian superstar, I can't remember his name, he's got dreads, but he's one of the big high life artists. And from doing that, I then got invited to do Ghana Fashion Week, which was in London. Right. I started meeting different people. So it really started for me on SWAT Team Select Show. Just for a couple of guys who saw my pictures and they thought, "Oh, this girl has what it takes." And it was amazing because girls had actually auditioned for that role and I knew nothing about it, and I just got hampered. So I got into presenting by accident. Anyone that knows me will know that I was someone, I'm still a lover of music. Music is my first love. I sing. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I used to sing in the choir. I actually used to sing Afro beats as well. I was going to get signed, and again, my mum was like, "No, I don't want you to do it." So I dabbled in the music industry for a little bit, as some people would know. And I still get asked till today, "You're going to come back and do music?" But I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. Right. I see. I was involved in that. So from doing SWAT team select show, unfortunately, Claire went into liquidation, and then I started getting asked to do other events because of the SWAT team select shows. Like, can you do this? Can you do that? And then I now moved in from SWAT team select show, and I thought, do I want to go to another Ghanaian channel or Caribbean? I didn't know. I was a bit.
Or if it's Australian channel or something.
Or Australian channel, exactly.
Yeah.
So while I was doing that, I now got approached by another guy I used to work with that's called Alfine, or P as I call him. And he was like, oh, Nabs, or he calls me BB mainly. He's like, you know,
so do I have the right to call you BB?
Yeah, you can. It's not BB. And then my mom calls me BB as well. So really cool people. So he was like, you know, there's this new show coming in. They want an in-house presenter. It's called the One Pot Show. And I thought, oh, that sounds good because, you know, the food we have in the salon, one pot. So I said, what does this mean? And then it was everything. It was entertainment. It was lifestyle. It was fashion, politics, hence the name One Pot. So it was like a cohesive melting pot of everything, basically.
Right. Okay.
So from doing that, from moving from the One Pot Show, I did the interview with them, which again, as I said, it was informal, and then they liked me, and straight away I got the role for the One Pot Show, which we did for about 2 years, I would say we did, and created quite a bit of a buzz and stuff like that. From doing the One Pot Show, that enabled me 2016-17 to go to Sierra Leone.
Okay.
And do quite a few interviews on the One Pot Show, and I did like radio stuff with Afrotel, Afrocell. Then AYV actually interviewed me in Sierra Leone about the One Pot Show as well for that. And then I came back to the UK, and when I came back, I then got asked to host the Award Awards 2016.
Okay.
Which I then hosted. And while I was hosting the award, I then got spotted by the late Monsieur Fadika and Mr. Naval of AYV International and AYV Media Empire. At the time, it was AYV Media Empire. And they said, oh, this girl, she's really good. We want her to come and work for us. And I was like, oh, okay. So I got called in for an interview, like an informal chat with them. And they told me that they would really like me to go to Sierra Leone and work there. But I put everything into perspective, and I thought, you know what, maybe it's not the right move right now to go to SL, and I wanted to be more established in the UK. And then they told me there is an opportunity for an international office to be open in the UK for AYV. So I thought, that sounds great. Maybe that's something I can look into. So while that was still pending, 2017, I got asked again for a second time consecutively to host the Award Awards 2017. So 2016, I hosted with my co-host Madani, who I'm sure you guys know of. And then 2017, I hosted with the then advisor to the president, then Ajibu Janjalo. So that was really, really good. And from doing that, because Award was a massive platform, the biggest Sierra Leone awards, and you know, it's all around the world, the diaspora, etc. So from doing that, I got a lot of recognition. I started meeting different types of people, and then I started getting other jobs. I started hosting.
So now I'm going to stop you there for some minute, because I know you've achieved so much, and trust me, it will take more than 10 hours for you to tell us your success, and this is why we're here. And trust me, I know exactly what I'm talking about. But someone listening to us now will say, because all we might perceive is that it has all been smooth. So someone might argue, you know, you came here at the age of 5, and it's the UK. I mean, things are easy here, and you'll just be lucky. No, so this is perhaps what some people will say, because what people is like the success, the iceberg illusion. What people see is a successful Nabri, but what we don't see is the challenges you've gone through. So really, I want you to show us the other side of the, you know, what are some of the stumbling blocks that you met, the challenge, especially as a young lady, because the reason why this is important, Nabri, and I really want us to lay it bare, you know, if not secrets that you want to say with tonight, say with any secret tonight, you know. So given our sisters in Kuwait, for instance, you know how women, you know, in our societies are treated, especially you, given the point that you've actually gone through all these things and you have gone to bigger places, hosted, you know, I'm sure you could have faced some challenges. Take us through some of those challenges and how you were able to ride through them. And I think our listeners will be very interested in that.
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges. I mean, life itself is a challenge, and like I always say, a lot of times people see the glitz, the glam. One of my favorite sayings is, not all that glitters is gold.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important in every aspect of life, you know. As much as I'm doing the presenting stuff, I also work as well on the side, marketing things here and there. And waking up early in the morning to make a living is a challenge. You know, people think when they're back in Africa or SALONE, you know, the streets then are like gold, now money, bro, and you get like a money tree. No, you don't. We're waking up early, and sometimes the temperatures here cold. Like now, I don't do one, but cold. You know, you go out and you have to graft. We're presenting a lot of oppositions. You have other girls that are very competitive. And competition can be good if it's in a healthy way, but it can be negative as well. And they think like, I need to bring her down and I need to take. But instead of embracing that, this is another sister trying to make it as well. So working more in unison and a partnership, so to speak. And then, you know, facing challenges as like guys that try their nonsense behavior with you. I've had a lot of business meetings and it's like, oh yeah, let's go and talk business. And then the end of the meeting, it's like, oh, I like you more, I want you more talk. And I'm thinking, really, this is not a business meeting, is it? So it's about you as an individual just trying to be grounded and level-headed. And also the assumption that sometimes people don't even know you, but they will make up assumptions that you're doing certain things to get where you are when that is
right.
Because I believe if I did that, I'll be even further. But I'm someone, because of the way I've been raised, I'm not a saint, but I've been taught on morals and values. And I rather get to somewhere because of my integrity and my hard work and graft than because I did it, you know, in a dodgy kind of way. Okay. So it's been, there's a lot of things that come with it. A lot of sleepless nights. Yeah. Sometimes you want to give up, you want to cry, and but because you have that passion and genuine love for it, you just keep going and keep moving on.
You're right. Right. Okay. So I think we've learned a lot. The sleepless nights is the fact that the best is cold you're getting out. Is the fact that there's competition, and some of the competition can be negative sometimes. And people that you should think that should be supporting each other. And then this is one of the things that we really need to touch on. The support for each Sierra Leonean. You know, when we see others succeeding, instead of supporting each other, we are trying to look at, either try to make big woman or maybe give words, so we're not supporting each other. And this is what is causing some of people who wants to try, they are shy from trying because of the support system is not there, like the Asians. And I'll give an example. I was speaking to one Asian who say, for instance, they say, when we go to any country, the first thing we look for is our community. But this is the opposite of Sierra Leone. The truth of the matter is, let me tell you something now. In Creole, the first thing they advise me is go away from SALONE community. They say, if you want to grow, Alfred, if you can't learn the book and you want to grow, go away from SALONE community. So I was like, why should I go away from SALONE community when this is my family? So now later, because the more you stay in the country, the more you now see tribal, the infighting where they go on, and people are not supportive. People are trying to bring that each other, So now, what kind of a sort of advice would you give to our audience or people watching, for instance, especially our brothers and sisters, especially when it comes to supporting ourselves in achieving our collective goal? Because if you succeed, me believes in that me don't succeed indirectly. So what can you say to that?
For me, I love quotes. As you know, I love quotes. So for me, one of the quotes that comes to mind is, if you want to be successful, you don't want to be anyone, then do nothing, say nothing, then you won't be criticized. But in life, you're going to be criticized. That's 100%. And growing up as a kid, I was very concerned about what people thought, what people say. But as I've grown older, I don't really care. I think what matters is the people who genuinely love you, who care about you, and who know who you are, your true character. People will always say stuff about you. But another thing I look at, when I see a girl, automatically she's my sister, especially if she's a black girl, automatically that's how I see her, that's my sister. So we need to be more than get that saying, say, Salon man, they let foreigner pass themselves, which I really believe. But we need to be more united as a people, because unity brings strength, it brings peace, and it brings productivity. You're right. Divide and conquer. When people are divided, nothing moves,
You're right.
it's a matter of, if you love something, you want to go for it, go for it. Don't listen to what people think or what people are going to say or whatever. If you're genuinely good at your craft as well, go for it. Because you get some people then, like musicians, and then they sing, oh, I love to sing, but singing may not be for you. That may not be talent. You have to tap into what you know, that when I do this, I know I'm good at it. Other people see that, yes, I'm good at it as well. And then you go for it. So just being confident, believing in yourself is really, really vital. But number one, I would say believing in God, having trust in God. I'm a strong advocate for that. I love God and I'm Christian. So my first thing is I put God first and everything else follows. Because I believe when you put him first and you pray about your moves that you want to make, he makes it possible for you.
Sure.
And just having that self-belief that, yes, I can, I'm going to do it. Study your craft as well, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's a thing of where a lot of people, they think, for example, I use presenting. They think presenting is like you just walk on a stage as a woman, you wear your high heels, you smile, you do this nice, and they say, no,
it's not that.
Yeah, you have to learn your craft, because there's always going to be someone coming up that can be better than you, or even if you don't have that natural talent, they can move you in a heartbeat because they're putting in more work, they're studying that craft. So do short courses in whatever it is that you want to do. Look at other individuals. Maybe there's somebody who you admire within that field, and you know you want to aspire to be like to some extent. I think you should be yourself personally, but there's some people maybe use them as a model to say, this is how they've achieved success in this area. I want to get there as well. And networking is vital, because you can be talking to somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and it puts you in that right position. So just go for it. Be around like-minded people, people who are going to lift you up. You're going to lift them up, that you talk about constructive things. And more importantly, write down your goals. I really believe if you plan to fail, you fail to plan, because when you write down your goals, you have something that's tangible, it's concrete, and you know within 6 months, this is what I want to accomplish. How am I going to get there? What's the aims? What's the objectives? And a lot of people, unfortunately, in this life, they don't have plans. They don't write down their goals. They just have things in their head, and they walk around thinking, I'm going to do this, but you can't accomplish anything because you don't have any concrete. And be disciplined. Be very disciplined. It's not everywhere you need to be. It's not every invitation that you get you need to be there. Like, you need to set the standard for yourself, and then people will take you as well in that way.
It's fine. I think that's just beautiful. And there is a quote, because I love quotes as well. Said, if you compete with others, you become bitter. But when you compete with yourself, you become better. So I think the competition is really not against ourselves. The competition is really against you becoming the best version of yourself. So I love the fact that you have to be disciplined, write the goals down, and okay, let me just come again. We might be having some beautiful ladies again in Sierra Leone who are struggling, to enter into the entertainment industry, for instance, or to start their dreams. Of course, like what we are seeing right now in Kuwait, for instance, some are even contemplating on moving to other countries, even when they see pictures like this today. Because I wish you would have watched the video earlier. You would have seen our sisters crying. They went there with the intention to really have a good life. But some people will still see all these videos and they say, you know what, I still want to go out of Sierra Leone and do it. So do you have to necessarily move out of your country to succeed? Do you have to at all?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that whatsoever. I think you go where you know you're going to make it in life, or where you feel you have that conviction that if I move from here and I go there, I can make it. I know people in Sierra Leone who are living a far better life than people in the West. It's your mindset, yes, to an extent, but then obviously some people as well, unfortunately, don't have the opportunity. A lot of these girls, they don't have the opportunity like you could say people will have if they come to places like England, or America and stuff like that. But it's also making the most of that environment that you're in. That also helps, because I know young people that live in Sierra Leone that are doing very well. And to them, they don't want to come to England to live. They come to London to go shopping, and then they go back. They're like, no one to that poor country,
You're right.
But unfortunately, some people as well, they haven't been given the best opportunity or the best start in life.
Right.
But that shouldn't be a
An
hindrance
excuse.
to what you want to be. You have to, everything is perspective. It's how you look at things. You know,
Yeah.
you look at things and be downtrodden and upset, or you can look at bad things to happen to you and say, you know what, this is going to make me want to be better. How am I going to be better?
You're right.
We control our future. We control our own destiny. So I believe it's how you decide to make things move for you.
Okay. You seems to me, sorry for interrupting, but you seems to me like a very positive person, and you're getting all this inspiration around, and not everyone is this positive. You know, where did you get this from? Because I'm sure you were not born, like I always say, everybody, the day you were born empty. You are what you are as a result of so many other factors. And so I'm very much interested in perhaps 1 or 2 minutes. Tell me more about what are those things pushing you? How are you this positive amidst all these challenges? Because you're bright and beautiful right now, but like you said, not all that glitters is gold. I'm sure you're going to all your challenges, because somebody said, and I want you to listen to this carefully, it said, everyone you see, including you and I right now, we have 3 common things, something in common. It's either you've just come out of a problem, or you are in the problem right now, or you're about to go into one. So in other words, there's no problem-free moments. We have all of our sort of challenges. So, but my real question again is, let me come back to that. How are you this positive? You still have this positive mindset, and where's it coming from?
I don't know. I think, do you know, I'm August born, and I know you shouldn't believe in star signs and stuff like that. I'm a Leo, so generally my character, I'm quite a resilient person. If someone does something bad to me or challenges me, it's more like a challenge, like, yeah, okay, you think this is going to happen, I'll rise to the occasion. But I just feel that for me, life is a blessing. The way I see it is the fact that you've woken up to see another day, that is a blessing. That is a big, big blessing. There's people that are dying. You know, I know of a boy soon that's going to die of cancer. So there's so many things that's going on. People don't have hands, people can't speak, people can't walk. And then we could say normal, I hate that word, that have everything possible in us, we complain about everything. You woke up, you opened your eyes, you can see, that's a blessing. You open your mouth, you can talk, you can hear the birds, but yet still you want to complain because you don't believe you're where you're meant to be. So that's why I have that sort of positive mindset. If there's a new day that God has given me, then that's a new day for me to do more for myself.
Yeah.
And because I believe troubles never last always. Never, ever, ever, ever last always. You can cry today, tomorrow you're going to smile. So when I see people that, oh, my life is so this, my life is so that, I think, have you seen the way other people are living? Have you seen what other people are going through? So I've always practiced that form of gratitude.
Right.
And I really believe because I'm like that, God always opens doors for me.
You're right.
And I always pray the prayer, like, never to have an envious spirit for anyone.
What a beautiful soul. What a beautiful soul.
So
on the point I want to say is the key word there is gratitude. Appreciate what you have, whatever little you have. Because the truth is, you can have all that you want, but not just all at the same time.
Exactly.
So be appreciative. Even now, Gary, you get right now for it. Get that Gary Day and sing. You know, praise God for that Gary, because someone somewhere don't even get that Gary.
You don't get Gary, exactly. Not true, yeah.
You know, so I like the spirit about you, gratitude. I think why you're trying to have more. I mean, kind of appreciate that moment, you know, what you have at that moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you're looking very beautiful again, shining, and you know, this is part of the reason. But again, because we actually started the program very late. I wish we had like 3 hours. I wanted to just take quickly, Nabri as an entrepreneur. Take us through this journey. And what do you do as an entrepreneur? Who is an entrepreneur? Describe yourself and what you do.
So when I came back from Sierra Leone, I basically did like a quick visibility studies. I was speaking to my cousin back home, like, oh, we're team good for Pasna, yeah, we're team for do this, that. And she didn't know why I was asking her these questions, but it was obviously to start something. So I came back and then I started what was called NB Enterprises, Nabri Enterprises. So sold clothes for both women, men, shoes, clutch bags, accessories, makeup, etc., which she was doing for me in Sierra Leone. It's a bit on a halt at the moment. Then while I was here, I then birthed what's known as then CB Chokers, which is Catherine Bands. Catherine is also one of my names. Now, how Catherine Bands came, that was through pain. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. At the time, I just basically, I wore a choker that I made at home and I put it on my social media, and people were contacting me. I like your choker. Where did you get it from? I was like, oh, I made it. They're like, oh, okay. How much is it and stuff? Like, could you make it for me? And I was like, yeah, a price. They paid. And then I capitalized that time. Chokers were really bang on trend. They were in the market and they went like hotcakes. So I started buying some online and selling them and stuff like that. So one thing that I always had the vision that I wanted it to not just be chokers, I wanted it to be other accessories. So I then changed the name from CB Chokers to CB Accessorize.
CB Accessorize.
Okay. Exactly. Now, the reason how CB Accessorize even came, it was through heartbreak. There was someone that I was dating and totally was just heartbroken about how everything went. And at the time, I had a friend, a guy called Noah, that was always advising me, like, Nabs, you're going to be fine. You need to learn from this. Look at what this is showing you. What's this pain showing? And I used to think, oh, whatever, like, give me a headache. I'm going through pain. What's this pain showing me? But when I look back at it, it's true. When you're going through a tough situation in life, that for me is a way of saying you need to level up.
Wow.
You need to stop giving yourself pity and look at what is this situation showing me? What did I do wrong? Because sometimes we're very good to blame the other person only, but I've obviously done something wrong as well in this situation. What did I do wrong? And how can I make myself better from it? So that's what that happened to me, and it allowed me to be that way. And then secondly, it allowed me to pick up a hobby of making chokers that ended up going into a business. So then moved into CB Accessorize. I started doing shoes, clutch bags, so all accessories. I've got swimwear for all year round, caftans, unisex sunglasses. I've started to do men's shirts recently as well. That's got a mixture of the African cotton, as we call it, but Nigerians will say Ankara fabric with it.
Yeah.
Bow ties, etc. And because of my network of interviewing various celebrities, I knew a couple of professional football guys, and I said, look guys, I've started this business, I'd love you to support me. In life, you're only going to get two answers, yes or no.
Oh no. Yeah, correct.
You don't try, you don't know. So I asked them, they all said yes. I sent them the shades, they wore it, posted it on their social media. That made, people believe in my brand more, because before I didn't have a website for them to go and buy it, so they're probably a bit worried to park their money on social media with a brand they didn't know. But when they started seeing people like Kai Kamara endorse it, people like Mo Papuski, people like Mustafa Dumbuya, he plays for the Premier League, etc. They started to believe in him. So that's what happened. And then from there, they even bought more shades for me. People like Alfred Sanko.
I bought one for you. I wish I would have worn it.
Yeah. so that really, it helped a lot. And then other people who were not celebrities, like fashion forward people, guys started wearing stuff, and it just went from there really. So all of that is because of something that was negative that I turned into something positive.
So positive. Wow. Wow. So how would if someone wants to contact you regarding your accessories, how do we buy, how do we support you? Because we're talking about support, we need to support each other, and that's exactly the way we grew.
You can contact me. We're still on Instagram at CB and then Accessorize. So it's ACCESSORISE. Also, the email address is at sales@cbchokers.co.uk. So whatever you see on there, I'm still doing the site. I've also got a pop-up shop at Azalea's Boutique, which is in Barking Shopping Mall in London. So they sell my stuff there as well. And hopefully this year, I really just want my website to be out as well. But you can buy it through social media.
Do you have any branch in Freetown, Sierra Leone?
In Sierra Leone, I want to start off again now with CB. That's something I'm working on. I can't really talk about that.
You know what? You're too busy. You're wearing so much hats. Anyway, I will substitute you for one-to-one mentorship. But you're wearing so much hat. I think you need to. But anyways, this is something we will talk about. But again, let's briefly talk about the Nabri as a marketer. Then the last one will be Nabri as a TV anchor and presenter. So another hat you're wearing is that you are a marketer. Break it down for me. Who is a marketer? What do you do?
A marketer is somebody that promotes a product or a service. And I believe even yourself sitting there, you're marketing yourself right now. You're marketing.
Am I marketing myself? Are you sure?
You are.
What life am you?
Everybody is a marketer, whether they like it or not, whether they're subconsciously doing it or consciously doing it. The way you dress is a form of marketing. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak, your demeanor is a form of marketing. So it's basically making people, maybe they didn't even know they wanted that product or service, but making them understand that they need it and then buying into that product or
You're
service.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. It's good. And the last one is actually Nabri as a TV anchor and presenter. Tell us more about that.
What would you like to know? There's a lot.
Yes, I'd like to know everything tonight.
It's quite a big question, but okay. So presenting, I absolutely love. My second love after music. I love presenting. I've done a lot of shows now, so I'm booked for next month, which is just around the corner in Australia, Sydney. They've actually booked me to go there, to fly into the country and host the SL welcome party. Okay. So that was a really good look, and I'm really excited about that as well. As I said, I've done Award Awards, I've done SMC Awards, which stands for Single Mother Care. I've done the Cultural Heritage Award, which is like one of my favorite events I've actually hosted, where it had all the different cultures of Sierra Leone, the Timni, the Mende, the Nimba, the Fula, the Soso, the Krankodi, you name it, all of our tribes, and showcasing the food, etc. And also creating awareness for the youth of Sierra Leone to know about their culture, because when you go to places like abroad, you can kind of get lost and forget who you are as a person, as an African. Sure. I also host things like Bean Talks, where I met yourself, which is an initiative from Marama Oni.
She's doing an incredible work.
Amazing
work. Yes.
Really love her. A young Sierra Leonean that's breaking airways and doing things when it comes to the whole solo power, energy, etc. And with her, it's basically more of a corporate setting, as you know, Alfred, where we go into like very lucrative buildings in the city. So we've been sponsored by Lloyds Banking Group PLC. We've also been sponsored by EcoBank, PwC. And again, this was another problem when she's done events in these buildings. Some Sierra Leoneans don't feel like they're good enough to go to this kind of building because they feel like the place too good for them.
So it's too posh for them. It's a mentality thing. It's a mentality thing. Yes.
I get told all the time, but you know, this is the narrative that we have to stop. We have to be confident in ourselves that I am good enough to walk into a Lloyds Banking PLC building. I'm good enough to walk into EcoBank building, is, you know, because if we don't, we'll always be where we are.
You're perfectly right.
Progress. So I do that. We do that every quarterly. I'm the resident presenter for that show.
Yeah.
So it's also a good show that I love to do, and it's such a great initiative whereby, sorry for the noise, it's such a great initiative whereby it's more intimate. It's not as many people, like let's say about 50 to 60 people to compare it to the big shows that I'm used to. But it's so inspiring meeting women from different backgrounds and industries who have really made it where they are and have achieved success. Right. I also do the news anchoring for AYV International, so that's our UK branch. So that's our primetime news that comes on weekly. So I'm one of the main anchors for that. And then I also do the other presenting stuff for them. So recently we just came back from Berlin, Germany, where I did the presenting and hosting for the largest tourism and travel expo. So we had the Minister of Tourism and Foreign Affairs there and her delegates with other directors. And it just showcased what Sierra Leone has to offer and trying to now launch into eco-tourism in order to attract tourism and revenue back into the country. I also did the travel and tourism one for the UK one, which was in Excel Centre also. Late last year, so
you've actually been successful, and you still want more. So we'll be running up the program because there's another program coming up. But I really wish we had a time to get through a lot of things and actually inspire people, especially the women entrepreneurs out there who are go-getters. Perhaps they need, because I just believe success leaves tracks. So if you want to be successful, look at the young people like Nabri, who is doing exactly what she's doing, and kind of try to tweak a bit, So before we actually summarize our this event tonight, which has been beautiful, I've learned a lot as well. I've listened to you, your story, and I just want to tell us sort of a final advice or tips, so especially the women out there, and I'm trying to be very feminist now tonight. Yeah, I love. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. I'm not sure tomorrow is
Yes,
Mother's
it
Day.
is. Yeah.
Okay, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, including Nabri,
Yeah.
my mom. If you're watching right now, happy Mother's Day in advance. But
Thank
Nabri,
you.
tomorrow is Mother's Day. Can you give kind of some tips that will encourage our women out there, especially the Sierra Leoneans, or even women across the world that are watching us right now, that will be watching us?
In order for them to achieve what they want in success. Like I said before, believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself. Set your goals, write down your plans, and go for what you want. Don't look in any direction, left or right. Just have tunnel vision. Because on this journey of success and trying to be what you are, I'm not even 100% where I want to be. And so you're going to get a lot of obstacles. You're going to get a lot of naysayers and, as people say, haters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I believe that if you're going on your journey and you throw a stone at every dog that barks at you, it's going to take a long time to get there.
Of course.
And being a passionate person, I'm somebody, I like to be real. I don't like to do the pretense and the false. And so if you offend me, I like to tell you. But I've learned as well that it's not everything you need to give an audience to. Sometimes ignore, keep it moving, because it's all a distraction, and distractions come in so many forms. So if you stop at everything that is continuously distracting you, you're not going to get to where you want to get to. So have a clear vision, keep going where you want to go, network. I cannot emphasize on that enough. Be bold to go to events, and don't just stay with the clang of people, as the Asian guy said, as you're used to. Go out, talk to different nationalities. Hi, my name is how are you? And sometimes I go networking, I don't really talk to people, but now I've made it more of a thing of talking to people, interacting, because as I said, that person may not directly help you or know about your field, but they could know someone else that does. And where you're getting to because of your integrity, let people know that you worked hard for what you wanted. You didn't have to sleep around or people will talk anyway. That's life. People make up things.
People will talk here, but you
can't
just have to.
But as long as you have a clear conscience that I put in the work, I put in the graft, and I've done what I needed to do to get where I am, you will go to sleep very well at night. And try to inspire people around you as well, and lift others up. If you can help someone in your craft, if it's a young girls coming up as well that want to be presenters, if they want you to mentor them, whatever way you can help them possible.
That's fine. Okay, on this note, I really, like I said, I'm keep repeating it. I wish we had time to really grip some other things. But we'll be coming for part 2. Definitely, you'll be coming back, because there's so much left on talk. So whenever you're free, next week or the week after, I'm always free to host you. But thank you very much, Nabri, for tonight.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
You've been very inspirational. Thank you for honoring our thing. So we people then, that's Nabri. Stay there, because I just want to wrap the show now. And now Nabri has given us some tips, and powerful tips. Things like you have to network, believe in yourself, find a mentor, go get it, and turn your mistakes or your challenges to opportunities. A lot of stuff she has shared. And the beautiful Nabri you're seeing right now has not always been easy for her. She actually has gone through some crucibles, but she's still looking shining. And so everything you were born to become is trapped within you. Don't look towards, to the future. The future is actually inside of you. You just have to tap there, learn from others. Be hungry, like Les Brown would say. Always be hungry. Not say you be girl, but you have to be hungry always. So Nabri, thank you very much. Thank you, our viewers, family. Thank you, everyone. Please make sure you support our sisters in Kuwait who needs our support. Nabri, I want you to also join us in this campaign, whatever later it is in your programs on AYV. Please, if you can push to see how we can collaborate, because we're not fighting each other. Viewers and AYV can actually collaborate on programs like this. It's very possible. Competition is not a zero-sum game. We have to come together to synthesize our people, help our people. There's so much abundance that we can all enjoy. So thank you very much. And with people there, I want to say Tata, good night. Thank you for joining us. God bless you. If you want to contact me, always our details will be down on the social media page. So thank you, Nabri. Nabri, do you want to leave any details or say goodbye?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. My family down. I thank you for having me. I hope save me career to English. But so if now one contact me again with social media platform then at Nabire Diamond, which now my Instagram NABERAY Diamond as number Diamond. Then on Facebook, Mina Nabire Pangora. So I can contact me on there if anything to do with business related, or if I just want to chat any of the young people them or older woman that we want to get into presenting and want advice on them, I'm here as well for that. So yeah.
I think we'll have one event in London, but that will come soon. Labry and Alfred. One live event.
That'll be great. Yeah.
It's gonna be happen. It's gonna happen. So good night. Have a blessed night. Labry will be in church, and God bless you. See you next week. Same time, same moment, same place.
What are you looking at?
You are so gorgeous. Your skin, so lovely. Clean, sunny, and natural.
Do you stress out about your skin? Do you freak out when you break out? Well, help is on the way. Try Shaw's Creations organic body products. Are you ready to have clear, gorgeous, healthy skin and feel more confident about your looks? We'll try Shaw's Creations organic body products. My skin looks fresh, healthy, and natural thanks to Shaw's Creations organic body products.
You look great.
I look healthy.
Shaw's Creations organic body products.